What's up? What's up? We'll get started here very shortly. Very shortly. I'm just going to give people a minute to roll in here. A lot of stuff to look at today. Boy, the markets are bleeding. Wow. What's up, Oreo? Yeah, we'll get started here very soon. Be sure to tap that like button. As soon as we get to 500 likes, we will get started. Boy, the markets have really bled the past couple days in particular. Past week, but the past couple days in particular. I'm seeing, in my opinion, I'm seeing a lot of opportunity. I'm probably going to implement some buys today. That's me. But yeah, we'll get started here as soon as we get to 500 likes. We will get started, baby. What's this one? Let's USDC. And be sure to hit the follow button and turn on notifications if you haven't, so you get notified when I go live. But as soon as we get to 500 likes, we will get started. In the meantime, I'm just giving people a minute to roll in here before we get started. Got a couple other really interesting things to talk about today. What's up, Michael? Oreo, wish I got into some shorts last night. I'm still riding my chain link short from I don't know, almost a week ago now, that I posted in the Discord because I was seeing strong resistance at 643. I'm still riding that one down. I've been taking profits out along the way down. But yeah, as soon as we get to 500 likes, we will get started, baby. Tap that screen. I'm seeing some buying opportunities here, in my opinion. I mean, ETH crossing down below 1600, it's like 1560 right now. Bitcoin in the low 25s. I dig it. Am I DCAing right now? We'll get into all of that. I'm always DCAing in the bear market. I buy Bitcoin every day. That's me. I buy ETH most days. This is certainly a day that I may buy a little bit heavier than your typical day. That's me. We're almost to 500 likes. As soon as we get to 500 likes, we'll get started. Dan Lee brings up a good point. Says September loves crypto bleeding. September is traditionally, most years, a red month for Bitcoin. Granted, it's only September. Oh, it's September 11th today. So we're in the first third of the month. So could the month end up positive? It could. But so far, it's certainly been a red start. There we go. We crossed 500 likes. So let's get rolling here. So I'm over here on Crypto Bubbles, if you haven't seen Crypto Bubbles before. And this is on the day. This is the top 100 crypto coins by market cap. As you can see, we have basically all red here. Trust Wallet is up some. Pax Gold is up some. That's just because it's pegged to the price of gold. Optimism is up a little bit. Optimism's up a little bit. But other than that, we're just looking at a lot of red. And this is just on the day. Like, look at Arbitrum over here. Down 8.7% on the day. Let me click and pull that up real quick. So we're down in the 76 cent range. That's the lowest Arbitrum's ever been, I believe, according to this chart. We'll pull up a more big boy chart here in a little bit. But I think we are definitely at the lowest point we've seen for Arbitrum. Actually, let me pull up Arbitrum real quick. Let's pull that up. I'm a big fan of layer 2s. That is a big part of my portfolio, and it will continue to be. But let's pull this up real quick on the daily for Arbitrum. Yeah, we are at the lowest point Arbitrum has been since it came out. When did it come out? March. Came out in March. Up, spiked up here, down, up. And now we were holding this level right here, which was that support, right, around 90 cents. And then it just really, as of yesterday, really busted down. And now it's busted down even lower, hitting a low. Let me get on this candle and find out. The low is 75.84 according to the Coinbase chart. Going over here on Bubbles tells me we're at about 76 right now. So I'm probably going to buy some Arbitrum today. That's me, not financial advice, obviously. Matic also crossed down under 50 cents. When was the last time Matic was under 50 cents? Let me pull up Matic. Let's go to the Coinbase one. For the daily, son of a bee. Matic hasn't been down in this area. Well, it was down here, I guess, back in June. I guess it had that big dip down here in June. Now it's kind of trading in this range. Because again, if we go back here to March, right, Matic's one of, in my view, not in my view, factually speaking, look at these charts. This was the shelf, that area before the Luna collapse, because this is the Luna collapse right here. Bitcoin and Ethereum have gotten back to this price area that I call the shelf. They've gotten back to it roughly. They haven't crossed it, but look at how well Matic outperformed that shelf area post Luna. Performed very well until roughly this point, which is a little bit after Arbitrum and Optimism came out. And then I think it gave up some of its market share to those two coins to the tune of roughly currently about $2 billion, right? Because check this out. If we go over here, Arbitrum's at about, just under $1 billion market cap now, and Optimism sitting at right about a $1 billion market cap. Matic sitting at just under a $5 billion market cap. So those three combined makes up about $7 billion. If we added up, Matic here, plus Optimism plus Arbitrum, if you took the market cap away from Optimism and Arbitrum and put it here into Matic, Matic would be back up in this range, right? So I think that's what made Matic come down. So I think Matic's at a really good value, but somebody gave up some of its market share to Arbitrum and Optimism, if for any of you paying attention, any of you layer 2 nuts out there like myself. But if we really zoom in here, let me go to this candle. Looks like the low for this candle back here was 50.5 cents. See that? 50.5 cents. So let's click on this one today. What did it get down to? 49.6. So we have made a new low here for Matic. And if we really line it up, let's line this up real quick. Tracing it all the way back to the shelf area, right? It's right here at the bottom part of this shelf. I think we will probably see Matic come down here to the low point of this candle, which was what? 47.6. Seems quite possible, if not probable to me, to see Matic come down here into basically about 48 cents. A little bit under that. That's what it kind of looks like to me, okay? And then we have the Luna collapse here. So I think that this is a very strong support area for Polygon. But as you guys know, I believe we're heading into a recession. I think we're heading into a recession. I think we have more potential downside in the economy and macro environment to come. I'm not a believer of a no landing. I'm certainly not a believer of that. Soft landing is a very hard one for me to see happening. Hard landing is what I see, which would make crypto go down more from where it is right now. But that doesn't concern me because I'm looking at the prices I believe that it's going to be in the next 2 to 3 years, right? So that's my thesis. Do whatever you want. This isn't financial advice. I'm here just sharing with you what I do. So let's go to some comments real quick. How do I feel about Chainlink short and long term? I really, really like Chainlink. Chainlink is one of the more important period infrastructure-wise projects in crypto because it's the oracle of the blockchain, but it's so much more than that, and it keeps continuing to grow into being so much more than that. Chainlink to me is damn near blue chip, and that's a big term because the only thing that I deem as blue chip are Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when I say Chainlink is damn near to the level of Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's a big deal. I can't really think of much else to say that about. Chainlink is just such an important project in crypto, period. Not just, it's important, vote for me. No, crypto runs because of Chainlink is a massive factor in crypto and blockchain being able to run accurately and efficiently, and I say accurately like that because it's the oracle. So it brings off-chain information on-chain, right, in real time. That's very important, or else you can't get, for instance, price data that's even somewhat accurate. And it does so much more. And with their whole CCIP, they're working on building interoperability. Like Chainlink is a behemoth of a beast. Chainlink is very high up. It's certainly in the top 10 coins that I buy. I mean, it might be like number 6. That would be after ETH, Bitcoin, Optimism, Arbitrum, Matic. That's 5. And then Chainlink's probably about right there. What else should we look at here? For those of you that don't know, put a 1 in the chat if you don't know what the Bitcoin halving is. Put a 1 if you don't know what the Bitcoin halving is. Because it's in my opinion, it's probably the most important thing to know in crypto. In other words, if you don't know this, you are at a massive disadvantage. Massive. Like you probably don't even have a clue what you're doing if you don't understand this. And that's not a dig or anything. I'm just saying, like, if you don't know, there's no better time to know than now. Okay. Thoughts on Veracity? I like Veracity. It fits into my Web3 gaming belief because I think Web3 gaming is going to become the dominant model of gaming. And Veracity, with its ad platform pieces going into the metaverse and Web3 gaming and stuff, that's pretty good. Do I think the halving will get priced in earlier this cycle? No. It has never gotten priced in even remotely early. Or do you mean after the halving? Do you mean Are you basically saying, do you think we'll get to the top of the bull market faster than we've ever gotten there? I didn't really see any ones come in. I think I saw one come in. So the amount of Bitcoin that can be mined per day right now, 900. All the miners in the world split up 900 Bitcoin per day. After the halving, which is in April, this upcoming April, that amount of Bitcoin they can mine a day goes down to 450, meaning that they're producing half as much Bitcoin in the same amount of time, and it's costing them twice as much in energy cost to mine one Bitcoin. Right now, miners around the world cost about $22,000 on average just in energy, not all the other expenses like labor, insurance, rent, all that stuff. 20 to 22,000 in energy to mine one Bitcoin. And that's at 900 a day. When it goes down to 450, that number is going to roughly double to 45,000 just in energy cost. This makes up roughly what I refer to and many refer to as the fair market value of Bitcoin, right? The cost to produce something is got to be at least the baseline cost price of the thing, or else people won't even produce it. And what's also important to understand is that a large percentage of the Bitcoin in the market that people actually buy and sell, part of the actual movement in the market, a large percentage of that comes from new Bitcoin coming on the market from miners, right? So if miners are mining half as much and it's costing them twice as much to mine that, then of course they're going to be putting less Bitcoin on the market in an exponential way until Bitcoin hits a certain price, which would be 45,000. So these dynamics, mechanics really force the price of Bitcoin up. That's why the halving is so goddamn important. And it happens once about every 4 years. And you can see, this is a halving, boom, price. Halving, boom, price. Halving, boom, price. Here's the next halving. For exactly what I said to you, those mechanics, push it up. And then we go into a bull market where you have more buyers than sellers, and that gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger till it hits a threshold, an end point, and then all of a sudden sellers start rising and buyers starts going down, and we have a crash, and it can happen very fast. And then we're in a bear market where we're oscillating between more buyers and sellers, more sellers than buyers until we meet equilibrium, which is roughly where we're at right now, fair market value, and then we're moving into another halving. News, recessions, etc., can obviously sway all this, but ultimately, knowing where that fair market value is a big deal, and understanding the mechanics of the halving. Big, not just a big deal. It's not even an opinion. Like, you need to understand that. The way that I explained it, like that really boils it down. Have you heard of the Gargalon method? I have not. I've not heard of the Gargalon method. When will Web3 come to mainstream? I don't know, but it continues to grow in adoption and use. It's really coming along well. I think Web3 gaming is going to continue to grow. I mean, there are fantastic games getting built, some of which you can already play, of course. Good games, not Axie Infinity, not just shit play to earn games where people are only playing the damn thing because they earn money. I'm talking about good games where people would play for regardless of any of that. The fact that you can earn a little bit or just have value for your effort, which isn't going to get you rich, but the fact that you can have that in a fun game just makes it so much better than if that same game where you weren't able to accrue that value. Didn't Ethereum have a sort of halving last summer? Nothing happened with price. That's a lot of statements. Yes, sort of, not really. They had the merge, which was the merging of two blockchains, the proof of work and proof of stake. This is the mining one. This is the validator one, which we moved into, proof of stake. That was the merge back in last August, September. Price ran up a lot to that, and then it was a sell-off after that because we're in a freaking bear market. And it got up to about 2,000 or so, which was roughly the price before the Luna collapse, right in that shelf area that I was talking about. And in referring to that, let me pull that up real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Like I have Polygon up right now, right? I have Polygon. This is their Polygon shelf area right here. There's Luna, boom. And pull up Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin shelf area, boom, Luna, boom. And look at, we've really only gotten back up to that shelf area in all this time and not really ever gotten past the top of it. Let me go to Ethereum. There's Ethereum shelf area, Luna collapse, and the merge brought us all the way back up here into the shelf, and then we went down, and then we came up higher here, and we still haven't crossed the top of the shelf, right? There's the top right there. It got to the top, but it didn't quite make a new high there. And now we're down here. I have these Fibonacci's drawn. It makes sense to me to see ETH come down here into the mid-low 1500s. And right now we are at, in the 1500s, mid-high 1500s. But I think this is a pretty strong support area here for ETH at 1527. But after that, like ETH's already made a new low, right? High, higher low. Well, that was actually a lower low. Then it came up here, and now it's made a lower low from here. So now this trend is kind of going down. As a matter of fact, let's do this real quick. Check this out. Let's go to I clicked on the wrong one. Let's go to the parallel channel. Check this out. I'm going to click up here. I'm going to click about, let's go about here. I think I like these contact points more. There's more of them. And then look at this. I mean, that roughly lines up pretty well. See these contact points that I'm making here? So, and that lines up almost with here. If ETH comes down more right now, it would hit probably about here, right around 1500. That makes sense, right? We have support showing back here. It's a nice even number, which is psychologically relevant in the market. But you can see that we are definitely, ever since back here, right, in April. So what is that? May, June, July, August, September. May, June, July, August, September. 5 months. 5 months we've been in a downtrend for Ethereum. Be sure to hit the follow button, by the way, and turn on notifications. That's my official page, 170,000 Daily Crypto Bull. Be careful, lots and lots of impersonators. Be sure to follow me on my backup account also in case something happens to that channel. And I'll probably just start doing some live streams from that one anyway. So, but as we go back over here to Ethereum, you can see that we've been in this downtrend, right? And it's getting down towards the bottom of the channel. So we could see a bounce up. Who knows what that would be? My guess would be when, hard to tell. You got to measure out these spaces here. We have about what? From April 2017 to about here was June 2018. So what's that, 2 months? And then June 2018 to right here, August. I mean, look at it. Isn't that funny? Like, look. April 17th, top. June 15th, bottom. Go back over here. August 17th, every 2 months, we seem to went from that high to this low to another low. And so what would October 17th look like? Let's look over there, October 17th, right? Where's that at? Right there. So if this trend continues and we were to hit another low in the 2 month thing that we keep seeing line up, that would put us at about 1439 in October, which would also line up with, well, it lines up pretty well with that and that. So that's kind of a support area there. Yeah, I could see some decent support there in that area. But overall, we're in a downtrend. I think it's just very, very important to notice that, right? There's Ethereum. It's already made a new low. It's clearly in a downtrend over the last 5 months. And Bitcoin, if I pull up Bitcoin, I mean, it's been in, I can't say it's been in a downtrend. I can't say that about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been in a sideways trend ever since it hit its top in April 14th was its top, right? When was ETH's top? April 17th. Bitcoin's was April 14th. And then it did hit a newer high on July 13th, barely, right? The high back in April was 31,050. The high in July was 31,860. So about a $800 difference, but it is a new high nonetheless. And ever since then, we have been in a downtrend, which I can't give to a real strong channel to find that, but it is trading. Check this out with Bitcoin. Check this out. What is this guy doing? I got to block somebody because I don't know what they're spamming in the comments here. So let me flip this around. That alien person, I blocked him. We don't see any more of that. So you can see right here, see this blue channel right here? Blue, I know there's a lot of color, but I mean, here's the top of it and here's the bottom of it. We were trading in this channel. Let me pull this back real quick. Check this out. So we were, ever since the Luna collapse, we were trading in this channel, and then FTX brought us below it, but then we came up, hit exactly the top, went down, and then we broke above it, and now we've been testing the bottom of it, right? Came down, broke it a little bit, but then bounced. We came down now, testing it. Let me just line it up real quick so we can get a better look at it. And then now we've come down here. So if we break into this box, I think this Fibonacci line right here is our first major area. What would that be? 23.2. That lines up pretty well with that area. And if I pull it back, oh shit. moved at. Didn't mean to. And it lines up fairly well with this area. So I can see if Bitcoin keeps breaking down here, if it really breaks, if it breaks really this level right here, right? Because that was the low. If we make a lower low, which we haven't done yet, we have not done that yet with Bitcoin. Ethereum we have, but Bitcoin we haven't. The low was 24,750. See it? 24,750 on that candle. The low that we've hit today was 24,947. So we have not made a lower low. If we go below 24,750, then we've made a lower low and we're in this area. We may bounce, but I think there's a good probability that we head down here into the mid 23,000s is what it looks like to me. It's important to remember too, this yellow line, this is the 200-day moving average. We've had what's called a death cross. It's kind of an, hyperbolic statement in my opinion, but it's when the 50-day, this rust color line, crosses the yellow, which is the 200-day. So when the 50-day goes below the 200-day, that's called a death cross. When the 50 crosses and goes above the 200, that's called a golden cross. So that's bullish. We had one of those back here, right? Where the 50 went above it and then we were in an uptrend. This kind of signals that we're in a downtrend now. So I think Bitcoin comes to 23. If it drops below that level, the next one to watch is going to be right here, which would be about 21.5. And then after that, you're going to have kind of this right here at 19, right around 20,000, 19 to 20,000. So that's what I'm looking at. We may, that's this right here in particular, right here is a very strong support area at 21.3, 21.5, something like that. You can see it lining up with that. You had a hiccup there in price, had a rejection, had a support, This is a pretty strong area down here. I would be very happy to buy Bitcoin at 21.5, but I'm happy to buy it today too in the 25,000s regardless. That's me. Let's see here. Is BlackRock spot ETF gets rejected? Is it game over for crypto? Yes, it's game over for crypto. It's the end of it. Goes to zero. It's all gone. Nothing else to do with it there. If BlackRock's one-time ETF application gets rejected, crypto's over. It's over. I'm obviously joking. I'm extremely joking. I'm extremely being sarcastic. Okay? No, it doesn't mean shit. It just means, oh well, we're going to have an ETF eventually, and that's just going to allow more money to come into the system. If it gets rejected, which maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it won't officially be rejected until next year. So they have all this time to delay until I think January of next year. So we'll see. We'll see. Do I think Bitcoin will go lower? I think it is quite possible. Mostly not because of crypto, not because of Bitcoin, but because of the macroeconomics. Everything that I look at, like, let me show you something real quick. Hold on. Just everything I look at, I have such a high probability that we hit a recession. I don't know how we avoid it. Here's how we could avoid it. Let me get a sip of coffee. Here are the ways that we can avoid a recession. And you decide for yourself how probable you think these things are. If real wages, if people start getting paid more and more money, that would avoid a recession. Okay? Well, they've been getting paid more. Have they? Yes. But I mean, if that continues, if you keep it going, right? And that has been pretty sideways for a bit here. So if it ticks up and all of a sudden people are making more money than they are right now, then we can avoid a recession with that. I see that as being pretty improbable. If the Fed just out of nowhere starts printing money and lowers interest rates, no recession. But then we do have the inflation problem. But nonetheless, shit will shoot up. Okay? So I deem that as being quite improbable. Unless we head into a recession and things get so bad that the Fed has to print money, has to lower interest rate to save the day. That I see as being very probable, but we have to head into that dark area before that happens. So in the meantime, everything that I see pointing as leading and current indicators, hell, even lagging indicators, show me we have extremely high probability heading into a recession. The only question to me is how deep, how bad is it going to be? Okay. With that said, does that scare me from DCAing into crypto? No, this is me, not financial advice for you. This is what I do. That's all I can do is tell you what I do and why, but I have my own convictions, right? Maybe I'm wrong. But let me show you something else real quick. Let me show you this. Let me add to this case. Not that one. Although that's interesting that Tesla lowered it. Let me pull this up real quick. So this article here, look at this, over on Fox Business. Not that I'm saying this is the best source of where to get your news from, but I mean, this is a factual thing here. All bracket income now living paycheck to paycheck, right? And when most people, 61% of U.S. consumers live paycheck to paycheck. When you have people living paycheck to paycheck, does that cause more spending in the economy? No. When that number's higher, people have less money to spend. When that number's lower, people have more money to spend. So let's go through some other stuff here real quick. Check this out. The paycheck to paycheck reality. Look at this. So in July 23, 61% of all consumers live paycheck to paycheck. I'm not done yet. We're going to break this down. They break this down. That's why I really wanted to show this to you guys. So people earning less than $50,000 are living to paycheck to the rate of a roughly 78% as of July of this year, and it's up 4%. Well, really it's up, it's almost 7%, but it's 4 percentage points up from July of last year. So more people in that category. Okay, that's not crazily unexpected, right? If you're earning 50 grand, it's hard to live with less than 50 grand in the U.S. So let's go to the people earning between 50 and 100,000. Okay, 65% are living paycheck to paycheck this year, up from 63% last year. 65%, and here's where it gets real saucy. People earning more than $100,000, 44% are living paycheck to paycheck, up from 43% last year, giving us a grand total of 61% of people living paycheck to paycheck. Now let me get this extra saucy for you. Let me slather it up. What is happening in October that will make that paycheck to paycheck thing get even worse? Drop in the comments. Anyone know? What's definitely happening in October that's going to make that paycheck to paycheck problem get worse? Scott got it. Ding, ding, ding. Student loans, right? Roughly 40-some million Americans will technically have to resume student loans, right? How many will actually resume paying it? Good question. I can tell you this, I think it's 41 million have that student loan debt that is set to resume in October. Guess how many, right? We're talking about 61% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Even if they're earning over 100,000, it's still almost half, 44%, right? So that tells you about people's money habits, which we'll get into later. I'll share some money habits with you. But okay, student loans kick in. 41-ish million people have student loans. Guess how many? Take a guess. Brownie points for this, I guess. Guess how many people are they're living paycheck to paycheck. Guess how many are currently paying their student loans, so it's already factored in to their paycheck to paycheck. Guess how many? Out of 41 million with student loans, guess how many are currently paying? So in other words, when they have to pay in October, it won't change anything. Earl says 3%, user says 0. I mean, it's not 0 if one person is paying, but fair. How will the wealth transfer? You're moving on. We're on one topic right now, Dilly. So Earl, Scott says just guess less than 10. So 41 million with loans, 500,000. 500,000. What is that? 2-ish percent? So Earl was really close. A little over 2%. So that means that, basically all those people are going to be affected, right? That 61% living paycheck to paycheck, we'll say, I don't know how many of them would have student loans, probably over half, right? So now they're going to get this, on average, $400 a month payment dropped on them, that they already live in paycheck to paycheck, so they can't afford that. What's that going to do to their spending for those people, to spending money out in the economy? This is so important. Just stay with me on here, okay? They're obviously going to spend less because they're already living paycheck to paycheck. They're going to have less money to spend. Let's say you're not living to paycheck to paycheck. Well, you still got to pay that student loan for a lot of people, Now I'm not done. So where's that money going to come from? Are they going to earn more money? Probably not. Like I said, we can avoid a recession if people start getting paid more money. That's probably not going to happen, right? I see that as very low probability. You probably agree with me on that. So what's it going to happen? Well, people are going to have to pull back on their other spending, such as services and goods. Maybe their monthly Amazon shopping goes down. Maybe their monthly eating out goes down. Maybe they start going to different grocery stores to buy cheaper items. So they're spending less money in the economy, directing it towards the government for their student loans. What is that called? That's a recession. When you have a decrease in spending year over year, that's a recession. It's measured year over year. Look at that. Where's the money going to come from? How is spending going to even stay sideways, let alone go up, right? Because to be in a non-recessionary time, you need to be growing. More money needs to be spent and circulating around than the year before. And with the Fed doing quantitative tightening, sucking money out of the economy, right? Literally to the tune of about almost $100 billion a month that they are sucking out of the economy, and raising interest rates to where it is, where it's extremely expensive to get money. And let's be very clear on this: bank lending, money. If you want to go borrow money, good luck. I'm not just talking that even if someone will borrow it to you, it's expensive as hell, but they won't give it to you. I'm not just talking about you and I as a consumer, right, as a credit card or some shit. What I'm talking about is businesses. And these businesses do what? Well, they fund business endeavors, inventory, expenditures, including salaries and stuff like that. A lot of companies, especially over the last 10 plus years, have been living on this cheap, if not free money. And now, as the Fed has raised interest rates, these legs working through the system, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And so all that stuff and more, and more put together, it feels like this, right? Football just started again, NFL football. It feels like the economy is in a football game. There's 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and it's down 30 points. Could it technically? Is the game over? No. So could it technically come back down 30 points with 3 minutes to go in the game? Could it technically come back and win? Yeah, because the game's not over. There's time on the clock. But what's the probability of that? Basically zero. Basically zero. And that's what I feel like the situation we're in now, when you put everything together, that's really what it looks like. I hope that makes sense. It's my opinion, not financial advice. I got data to back it up. My, analogy isn't perfect, but it's in the ballpark. Here I go with all these sports references. So America is the Giants. I'm not sure what that means. You mean baseball or New York? New York. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. New York got their ass kicked last night. That's right. The Giants, 40-0. Yeah. Kinda. I mean, no, we're still, king, I guess. But the game of economy is, in business cycles and economic cycles, they go into boom and bust periods. They go into up periods and down periods called recessions. Like, that's just what happens. That will always happen. So we're heading into one of those must happen, always does happen eventually, down periods. But we've been fighting it off as long as we could. Another thing to pay attention to, right, as we talk about paycheck to paycheck, people having to live like that, another thing that's really a stat that really hits me is this. Hear this. Hit the follow button, by the way, if you haven't, and turn on notifications so you get notified when I go live. Check this out. So 61% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 44% of Americans making over $100,000 a year. 44% of people making over $100,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, okay, maybe wages don't go up, but maybe people have a lot of money saved, and so the student loan thing coming out in October isn't really going to affect them much, and they're going to be able to at least continue their spending rate. Well, okay, let's check the savings. During the pandemic, we had accrued, as citizens in the U.S., had accrued $2.1 trillion with a T, trillion dollars, $2.1 trillion in savings. That's amazing. I think that was a record. Guess where we were in May? From 2.1 trillion, guess what the number was in May of this year, of 2023? Did it go up? Did it go down? Guess a number. Drop in the comments. Let me get a sip of coffee. Michael says we've never had a soft landing. We have 3 times we've had a soft landing, but never when the Fed was raising interest rates. We had a soft landing in this setup. Down. People are saying down. Yes, and 1.1 trillion was Nathan's guess. Beverly just says down. So we were at 2.1 trillion in. It was either the end of 21 or mid 22. Okay, that was the peak. 2.1 trillion in personal savings for Americans. In May of this year, we were at 400 billion. So we were down 80%. That was May. Guess where we're at today? Back up to 2 trillion. Just kidding. We're down to 130 billion today in personal savings. Is that going to turn around? Student loans coming out next month? Inflation's still rising. By the way, let me show you this real quick. Are you guys getting this? Like, this is why I'm sitting here. I'm like, how in the world do you go on these pundit shows like Fox and CNBC and Bloomberg, and they're like, they just have this bullish tone all the time. It's just in their wiring. So you have to know that when you listen to them, they're always looking for reasons to be positive. So check this out. Let me show you something else. What was I going to pull up? Oh, son of a bitch, what was I going to pull up? God damn it. My apologies. It was going to ride. What were we talking about? I mean, we're talking about savings rates. We're talking about student loans. I know what it was. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this. So we have the CPI coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, September 13th. We have the core CPI and the CPI. This is the one the Fed pays more attention to. This is the number that we tend to talk about the most, the overall year over year. And this is the year over year core. This is the month over month. Now, let me do this over here. Okay. This one right here. CPI year over year. Last month we were at 3.2. The month before that, we were at 3 even. So we ticked up last month to 3.2. Does anyone know what the forecast is for the new one that comes out? Anyone know? 3.6. They're expecting inflation to go from 3 two months ago. And then it went to 3.2 in August. And now in September, it's going up to 3.6. Popping up over 10%. 10%, it's 0.4, yeah. 0.4% out of 3.2 is what? That's over 10%. Actually, it's like 12%. Popping up. And look at the year over year core, 4.7 to 4.3. They're expecting that to go down. That's positive, right? Look at the core CPI year over year, 0.2. They're expecting it to go to 0.2. And then the consumer price index, 0.2 to 0.6. But overall, that doesn't look like, you know what that looks like to me? That just doesn't look like an environment where the Fed's planning on changing a goddamn thing in terms of like lowering rates or printing money or anything like that. And you add all this up, right? Let's go through some of the things. I'm not going to remember them all, but I just tell you, I spend so much time every day monitoring and researching data. Let's call it researching this stuff between macro and crypto, right? But macro, here we go. Personal savings rate has went from 2.1 trillion to about 130 billion over the course of the last 2 years. Okay. Inflation has gone up roughly almost 20% in the last 2 years. You realize that? Over the last 2 years, inflation as a whole has gone up, has increased prices rather by about 20% across the board. 20%. Did people earn on average 20% more in the last 2 years? No. I don't know what the exact number is, but it is significantly less than that. We'll be generous and say 12%. That's an 8% gap, meaning that your average person, it costs them roughly 8% more in their life. I know the inflation number. I can't remember what the average wage increase was in the last 2 years. Now, okay, we have that going on. We have 61% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. That keeps going up. That's up year over year, right? Even if you make over $100,000 a year, 44% of that group are living paycheck to paycheck. That's up from 43% last year, right? So we have all that with student loans coming on board. That's just going to create a suck back in spending, right? People are going to spend at least $400 a month on student loans. Are all 40 million going to do that? No, right? Maybe half, maybe 25%. I don't know. How many? I don't know. Nonetheless, it's going to have an impact. How much? I don't know. But I do know it's not going to, student loans coming on board next month is not going to make your average person spend more money in the economy, right? I'm not, I have student loans to start paying this month. Well, let me eat out more this month. Let me go to more NFL games this month. Let me get a new car loan this month and pay more for a car. Let me get another car. Let me take on a new bill. That's not going to happen. Recession, okay, that type of stuff. We also have a rapid rise in bankruptcies, corporate bankruptcies. Do I have that chart up? Let me see if I can find that real quick. Yeah, I do. Let me show you this real quick. Over on Visualized Capitalist. So these are bankruptcies in the year 2023. Check this out. So in 2020, we had a big spike, obviously, in bankruptcies. By this point, this shaded area points to July, I believe, right? It does. It points to how many bankruptcies as of July, yes. So 407, 402, by far the most we've had since the actual pandemic year, right? And so TBD, by the end of the year, during 2020, we were at 639. We were in quite a downtrend. We are clearly in an uptrend. This was as of July, so we are already over these numbers, right? And this was for the total year in 21 and 22. 23, we're going to have way more bankruptcies. Does that good for unemployment? Does that make unemployment go up or down? Up. All these charts to look at too, right? We have this going on. This has to do with bank lending. Oh my goodness. This is something that doesn't get talked about near enough, right? If you're going to have a non-recessionary time, right, which means you have more spending going on this year as a whole than last year. That's what a positive GDP is, okay? If you have a negative GDP, it means you have less spending year over year. That's what a recession is. Most years are non-recessionary years, okay? Most years, about 15% of the time we have recessionary years, but they happen. And when things line up, there are lots of signs that just show you that it's coming. Doesn't really show you how big it's going to be or how long it's going to last, but you can tell it's coming. So one of the absolute biggest things that happens every single time we have a recession is that smart money does certain things. Let's call banks smart money. They lend money, right? And actually, most money, what we refer to as money, comes into creation through bank lending. Not the Fed. Fed is a bank, yes, and they lend money into existence. But most money that comes into existence comes from bank lending, right? When you go get a mortgage for a house or a car loan or a business takes a business loan, that's new money getting created in the system called reserves. We're not going to get into all that. But that's new money. That's part of M2, which, by the way, M2 is negative. And that's the first time M2 growth supply is negative. That's the first time M2 growth has been negative year over year. First time since guess when? The Great Depression. Am I saying we're heading into a depression? No, but I'm saying that's not something to ignore. So bank tightening, right? So businesses need money to stay afloat, okay? Well, they can't get it. And if they could get it, it's extremely expensive. Bank tightening is extremely tight. Banks are holding on to their purses saying, nope, 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 we're not lending money. Nope. And then their business will lend money and they won't lend money. So we have less money coming out, less money flowing around, creates a recession. Businesses go out of business, unemployment goes up, GDP goes down, and then we get to a certain point, and it can create a credit/financial crisis also. Because you think about how many loans are coming due. How many loans are coming due for businesses, for real estate investors, for, corporates, right? We're talking over this year, I think there's a little over $1 trillion in just, I think it's just commercial real estate. No, pardon me on my exact numbers, but they're heavy. And these, say the commercial developers of like office buildings, they need to basically refinance their money about every 5 to 7 years. They have to, because that's the way their original loans are met, is that they're a balloon payment that they got to pay it all by this date, or they go into default. And they can't get a loan to refinance these things. If they could, it'd be much, much higher. They can't afford it because these properties went down in value so much. All of this stuff lining up together, again, unless people start going back to the office to work, and that's one part. Bigger than that is if people's wages get raised, right, from now till, I don't know, the next year or two, to being well above inflation so that they can now do more spending in the economy and save us from a recession. But then we have an inflation issue if that happens, okay? What are the odds of wages going up at a significant amount rate to avoid a recession? I would say pretty low. The Fed could just today start printing a bunch of money and lowering interest rates. Well, that would probably keep us out of recession, but we would have that inflation problem again. So they're not going to do that. The only way for this to really play out the highest probability way is to head into a recession. It's going to get nasty, in my opinion on that one, very much on my opinion on that one. And we will have a credit/financial crisis, and the Fed will have to come to the rescue and abandon the inflation battle, because at that point, the inflation battle is won, right? When you have a crisis like that happen, things don't inflate in that time. It's not an inflationary thing. That things drop like a rock. And then they got to start printing money and lowering interest rates to stimulate, to try to save us from deflation. Because it looks to me like we're heading for a deflation, which sounds good. And it is if you got a bunch of cash, you're right? A bunch. But that's really bad for an economy. That's really bad. And it's really important to realize, too, when we had the great financial crisis in 2008-ish, in that range, we had inflation for a while, but then I think in 2009 or 10, we actually went into deflation, meaning that prices of things was down year over year, right? So if you were buying this coffee cup for $20 this year, or last year, this year it's 19, or 18, something like that. That is extremely rare, and that is not good for an economy. That's probably worse than inflation for an economy, but it's a much easier fix. You just print a bunch of money and lower interest rates. Let's go to some comments. Why is ETH going down? The whole crypto market seems to be going down. What I would say is that it's going down because of exactly what I just said about the macroeconomic situation, right? Where's the money coming from? We have a decreasing liquidity going on, right? So there's less money flying around. There's less money actually being willing to move around, right? There's money, people got money, but they don't want to spend it. Or not people, not like you and me necessarily, but I mean like your big institutions. And banks. Banks are not lending new money into existence. So all this is just creating this contraction, which is a recession, a contraction in money supply, in money floating around, etc. So I think that the stock market, I think that its peak that it hit, 4,600 on this rally this year, I think that that's the top. I think that's the top of this whole move, and I think we're certainly going to see the S&P 500, in my opinion, go into the 3,000s before it ever goes and makes a new all-time high, with the potential downside depending how much things get. I think my best bet is that the S&P at least goes down and makes a double bottom, which would be about 3,500. But I could see it definitely, at least for a short period of time, going well below that. That's just my opinion, right? But I think that we see crypto bleed first before we see the stock market go, because real estate treasury bonds are called no risk. Real estate is less risky than most things, but not treasury bonds. After that, in terms of risk scale, right, treasury bonds are like zero risk, is what they refer to them as. And then real estate, a little bit more risky. Stocks, a lot more risky than real estate, and crypto, a lot more risky than stocks, right? So the highest risk things in times of uncertainty and low liquidity get sold off first, and they're also the most volatile in terms of up and down and up. So think that this has been bleeding. It's kind of an indicator to me that I think we're going to see the stock market go down. And as you see the stock market go down, crypto will bleed even more. But I think it's doing a lot of its bleeding now. I mean, we have a lot of new bear market lows for cryptos going on, Elvis says, agreed. Why do you think Link will never really boomed? In what world did Link never boom? What, you're gonna have to get D Money. You're gonna have to get specific with me on that, because I don't know what world that is that Link hasn't boomed. You mean in this bear market? Because we're in a bear market. But Link to me is like one of the most crucial projects, things in crypto. It's a massive piece of infrastructure, like a goddamn highway, sort of. More like something else. I don't know what to compare it to. Is Gala dead? Yes. Yes, Gala is dead. I'm joking. But Gala is down a lot, and I still think Gala goes under a penny. But I've been saying that well before this lawsuit ever came out. Not because I don't like Gala. I have a lot of Gala. I have a lot of Gala NFTs. A lot of people have just joined. Be sure to hit the follow button and turn on notifications so you get notified when I go live. We went through a lot of stuff so far in this stream. And if you weren't here at the beginning, you missed out on a lot of stuff. So turn on notifications. I go live pretty much every day. I'm sleeping as I hear you talk. Is my voice soothing? Money. Price prediction XRP. For the next cycle, I think it's going to be a $10 to $20 coin. Arbitrum is down. That is right. It's down. Arbitrum right now is down. Check this out. Arbitrum is down 10% on the day, putting it at about 75 cents at the moment. But this is right here. If you guys never use cryptobubbles.net, I like to use this as a good initial spot to scan the landscape. This is the top 100 coins by market cap for the day. All red, except for Trust Wallet's up, and I think Optimism was up. Is it still up a little bit? It's up a little bit. But we got a lot of red. This is just for the day. Arbitrum down 10%, which is a project I absolutely love. Immutable X I absolutely love. Gala I love, but they got the shit going on. And so when they did that Gala V2, we'll come back to that. Matic I love. Quant I love. Obviously others, ETH and Bitcoin. But Gala, people still ask me about Gala. Listen, I don't know what's going to happen, but I read that case report. Not all of it, the first like 5 pages, to read the allegations. And to me, and because I was really concerned about the CEO, Eric Schiermeier, I heard the allegations against him. But then I went and looked at the report and I realized, oh, no, that other co-founder, that Thurston guy, he made fake allegations towards Schiermeier. And this is written in the case. And I'm like, oh, well, I feel better about this, but it's not good. It's not a good look, I'll tell you that much. But ever since they did Gala V2 in May, I noticed that their market cap doubled without any new coins. And I was like, that's weird. And it changed my projections. I thought Gala would be an easy $1 in the next cycle, maybe $2 to $3. But now, since their market cap doubled, I have to project Gala for an easy 50 cents, is my opinion, right? None of this is guaranteed. Maybe $1 to $1.50. So that's my new projection for Gala, somewhere between 50 cents and $1.50. Instead of, somewhere between $1 and $3. So they had to get knocked down my ranks. I have a good amount of Gala. I have a lot of their NFTs for the Mirandus game in particular. So Money says, yeah, the Gala V1, V2 messed everything up. I still don't have a great explanation for that. They just said that CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, et cetera, was misreporting the market cap. And I'm like, how could they do that? It's the number of coins times the price of a coin. So, and I've never known them to make such a... I can't even say how silly of an error that is. It doesn't even make sense. It's like just math. It's very simple. This plus this equals this. So I was like, I don't know what's with that. That just seems. And their explanation, that was their explanation. I'm like, it seems kind of weird to me. So I'm chilling out. Since it doubled, that's when I'm like, all right, I think it's going to go under a penny, right? Just because I think the market cap needs to come down, and then I'll be quite a buyer under a penny. But Gala at where'd it go? Gala at $1 or 1.38 cents, pretty attractive to me. So I'll probably end up buying a little bit anyways, even though I think it's going to go under a penny. With that said, in the bear market, I'm not trying to catch bottoms. I'm not. I'm trying to get good projects that I have researched, that I understand, that I believe and have conviction in. Because if I don't have that, I don't buy it at all, regardless of the price. But these projects, even though I'm on the side that I think they'll go lower, I'm buying. Why? Why am I buying? Why do I continue to buy? Why will I continue to buy? Because I have conviction about these projects, and especially the blockchain crypto space, but there's 30,000 cryptos. So I can't buy them all. But I can buy some. that I researched heavily, that I have a strong thesis for, that I have conviction in, that I believe and I understand, and I can see real use cases, and I see good teams, and I see partnerships, and I see things going on, and development, and et cetera. So those are the things that I buy. So Gala, I like. Arbitrum, I like. Optimism. So they're down. To me, they just look like great values, even though I think they'll go lower. I'm about filling my bags when good projects that I deem as good are undervalued. Because what does Warren Buffett say? Does Warren Buffett say, I sell the top and buy the bottom? No. He literally on record says, I'm not so interested in tops and bottoms. I'm interested in getting a good company at a fair or undervalued price. That doesn't mean I'm looking for the bottom. Doesn't mean he's looking for the bottom. And then if they get overvalued, he sells them. But he rarely sells because he does a lot of other things like with dividends. That's another topic. But I heard him say that and I'm like, well, if that's what the best investor of all time does, that makes a lot of sense. So that's what I do too. I buy things that I have conviction in, that I believe in, that I understand, and I buy them when I feel they're undervalued, which is in the bear market, and I sell them when they're overvalued, which will be in the bull market. So I'm playing the long game here, a longer game. I don't care so much about these day-to-days, although I do trade, right? I profit when price goes up or down without even buying or selling anything. But I can accumulate and fill my bags in the meantime. Maybe that's a good segue here. Is anyone interested in learning how to trade crypto, which is like learning how to profit when price goes up and down and up without even buying anything? Or is anyone interested in learning more about DeFi, like passively earning crypto by knowing how to use DeFi? I think maybe about 1% of people in crypto know how to trade crypto and use DeFi. And the people that do know how to do those things have a massive advantage over the rest of the market. I mean, people just being here in the bear market have a big advantage. I saw a lot of yeses and stuff come in. So I'll show you where you can, because I have some stuff that teaches you about that. If it's okay if I share that with you real quick. Over here on dailycryptobull.com, I have this masterclass in this trading fundamentals course. This is all about trading, right? How to profit when price goes down, how to profit when price goes up without even spending money, right? They're all videos, beginner friendly, instant access, yours to keep forever. And over here in my private Discord, we have this thing called a profit board, right? And here's a trade I'm in right now. Who cares? Actually, I'm in this link trade. I'm profiting because price is going down. But who cares what I'm doing? Is this stuff working for other people? Here's Jenks. He just joined about a month ago. He got into XLM at 13.2 cents, and it went down to 13.1, and he made 15%. Paid to him in Tether. He profited because price went down. There's my trade. Jay Coffee here. He just joined about a month or two ago too. He was in Perp. He got in at 74.99. It went down to 74.09. He made 24%, paid to him in Tether. And let's see if I can find a long here real quick. Anyone do a long? Got a long here. Here's one. Coffee also. So this means he got into TRB at 23.64. It went up to 24.45. It went up. So he profited 66%, right? That's crazy. But he didn't even buy anything here. Profit paid to him in Tether. And I can scroll for quite a while on our profit board. And I can tell you most of these people had no idea how to do any of this till they took this stuff right here. So this is trading. None of this is get rich quick. This is about developing skills, giving yourself edges in the market, okay? But that's trading. Now for the DeFi stuff, that's an active skill. For a more passive thing is DeFi. I have the Yield Wizard course here. These are all videos showing you step by step how to use DeFi and how to use my 5 favorite protocols. The only 5 that I actually use because I deem them as having the right risk to reward. I've used hundreds of DeFi protocols. I've been in DeFi since the beginning of DeFi, 2019. And as of today, there's only about 5 protocols I use. One of them is my favorite altcoin play in crypto is Ape. I'll get to that later. But you earn about 50% in Ape. That means for every 100 Ape I have over the course of the next year, it will passively, without me spending another dollar, turn into 150 Ape. Show you how to do that with Atom also. And this ETH one is really interesting. Because have you ever heard the saying, the house always wins? Well, in this one, you get to actually be the house. You put dollars in here, you fund the house, you become part of the house, and you get to share in the fees and revenue that they collect, and they pay you your fee in Ethereum, your rewards in Ethereum to the tune of roughly 30%. Isn't that nice? There's a couple more here too that I use. I also show you some videos on how to qualify for some major upcoming airdrops. So I decided to put all this together, the trading stuff and the DeFi stuff, into one thing that I call the Crypto Pro Package, which is all this stuff. I put about an $891 value on it. You can get all of this stuff. I normally charge $100, but during the live stream, and only during the live stream, I'm doing a 50% off sale of $49.99. When the live stream is over, it goes back up to $100. It's over on dailycryptobull.com, myname.com. And I'd really suggest you consider getting this add-on down here, this Crypto Portfolio Secrets Guide, because if you don't know how to structure a portfolio, it's a really big deal. Let me pull up the guide real quick. So I've spent about a month putting this portfolio guide together. I talk about diversification. I talk about the 8 buckets that I invest in crypto, right? And I talk about what each of the buckets are. Like blue chip is just Bitcoin and Ethereum. I talk about what it is, what purposes it serves. I talk about all that. I talk about my favorite coins in these categories. And then we get down here to risk levels. Like for instance, okay, we've got the 8 buckets, but if we deem ourselves as low risk, how should we actually structure our portfolio in a percentage ways? So this is how I would roughly structure a portfolio for a low risk person. Medium risk, high risk, degen level risk. So this is a really good educational piece here, and there's just a really good guide to have in the future as you're structuring your portfolio. But again, over on dailycryptobull.com, today I have this sale going on only during the live stream. When the live stream is over, the price goes back up to $100. You get all this stuff. And it's all videos, step-by-step, beginner-friendly, one-time payment, instant access, yours to keep forever. That price during the live stream. And people always ask me, I have a private group. So if you ever wanted to join the private group, you can just click the link in the bio. And that'll take you over here. You can join the private group. That's how you get into the private Discord over here. That's how you get access to this custom indicator, the buy-sell labels, and the momentum waves, and you get my most advanced trading course too. But that sale's going on at dailycryptobull.com during the live stream, and only during the live stream. When it's over, it goes back to 100. All right, let's get back to the content. Let's get back up to the conversations here. Let's see what we got here. Are you concerned Gala broke below 0.015? I am not, because I think even before any of this lawsuit stuff happened, because when they did that V2, I saw Gala's market cap double, even though they didn't put out new coins. So I'm like, oh, well, the market cap needs to readjust back to where it was. So that means Gala needs to go under a penny. So I think Gala's going to go under a penny. And I've been saying that since May, since they did V2. With that said, I kind of like Gala anyways, So I'm tempted to buy it today at 1.38 cents. That's me. None of this is financial advice. These are my opinions, right? Can you provide a ticker for Optimism? It's OP. OP is its ticker. Let's see here. I see a lot of people saying that. 50%. OP is that. Where do you buy Gala? Yeah, you can't buy it on Coinbase anymore, so that's a good question. I buy most of my Gala over on MEXC, which is also where I trade. So now I haven't bought much Gala lately because of exactly what I'm talking about. I'm kind of waiting for it to go under a penny, but I have a good amount of Gala, XLM news tomorrow. I've been hearing about that. To me, that feels like your classic buy the rumor, sell the event type of thing. Boy, Ethereum's down to 1540. Wow. Gala is on uphold. The reason I buy it on MEXC is because I pay basically no fee, right? So I'm not paying some additional fee. I'm actually getting like pretty much 1-to-1. Every dollar I spend on Gala, I'm getting $1 worth of Gala, not 95 cents worth of Gala. Is ETH dead? Yes, Devian. ETH is dead. Thanks. And how high do you believe OP will get in the next bull market? I think you could see OP's market cap get to 100 billion plus. Right now it's at about 1 billion. So, but by then there should probably be twice as many Optimism coins. So I see Optimism as having roughly a 50x plus potential between now and the next bull market. Sounds crazy to most people because most people are newer to crypto, but this is what happens from the bear to the bull. Shit gets very crazy. That's why you're here. But, I talked about Ape being my favorite altcoin play. Put a 1 in the chat if you'd like to know why ApeCoin is my favorite altcoin play in the market. Now, it's not like I'm going all in on it, right? I'm not putting a heavy percentage of my portfolio in it, but as a pure altcoin play, it's my favorite play. Let's see here. Deviant, I was kidding. ETH is not dead. So for ApeCoin. So ApeCoin, let me let me give you a bit of backstory here. So ApeCoin, what is ApeCoin? It's the coin of Yuga Labs, Bored Ape Yacht Club, The Other Side, which is that game they're coming out with. And what is Yuga Labs, Bored Ape Yacht Club, etc.? It's the most premium brand in crypto, right? It's like a Rolex, like a Lamborghini in terms of crypto. It's like that, right? A Bored Ape currently goes for what, like 50 grand at the cheapest? It's a very premium brand. And it's got a big community. It's got a strong community. It's got the game that it's building in conjunction with Animoca Brands, which is the best game maker in the space. And I've watched the team deliver over and over and over and execute over and over and innovate. And I'm like, so I'm very sold on all of that. Okay. So, okay. Well, let me rewind for you. Let's go to April of 2022, last year, right? Let's remember, Bitcoin topped in November of 2021. So fast forward to April of 2022, which is 6 months later. We are well into the bear market. Well, Yuga Labs, they start doing some marketing and PR, getting people's attention on ApeCoin, Yuga Labs, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and this Other Side game. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they say, boom, in 3 days, we're doing the Other Side land sale, and you'll need to buy it in ApeCoin. What happened to ApeCoin's price? It went from about $10 to $28 in a matter of 3 days, because all of a sudden there were a shitload more buyers and sellers. And this is 6 months into a bear market, 6 months past Bitcoin's top. We were in a bear market, okay? 28. And then, of course, it goes down after that. But what's interesting is they sold 100,000 pieces of land. Hear me on this very carefully. Pay attention. They sold 100,000 pieces of land in that Other Side sale. They were called other deeds, the land, other deeds. What most people don't know is there's actually 200,000 pieces of land, which means this, hear closely, at some point in the future, they will do a final land sale for the final pieces of land in the game. And if you were them, here's where it comes. If you were Yuga Labs, when would you do that final land sale? Drop in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. No guesses? No idea? When would you do the final land sale? Jarrett Decker got it. In the bull run. In the bull run. Of course you would. And if we know that, Yuga Labs is ahead of us. So they are going to pick the right time in the bull market, and they're going to lay out their marketing and PR and everything to get a lot of attention on themselves, and then they'll do that flash announcement again, and the people will be a rush for ApeCoin to get the final pieces of land. What's that going to do to ApeCoin price? And I have a strong belief that will be the top of ApeCoin's price in the next bull market. So do you understand what just happened there? I have identified a probable, is this guaranteed? No. But a probable event in the future to sell into, because the day before the land sale, I'm going to sell my ApeCoin. I don't hear anyone talking about this. Because I'm thinking out like 1-2 years ahead of time about things people aren't even thinking about. Not that I'm special. This is just something I've done months of research, and I landed at this, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is my thesis. So I have a sell event in the future to roughly time what I think is going to be the top of ApeCoin. Wow. You know how big of a deal that is? I have no other altcoins, nothing that I can time like that. So that's amazing. So now I got to ask myself, what do I think ApeCoin is going to get to? Well, if I'm going to figure out what I think ApeCoin price is going to get to in the next bull market, I have to do a couple things. I have to figure out, first of all, what do I think the total crypto market cap is going to be? All the coins put together, what are they going to get to? In the last bull market, we got to about 3 trillion. 3 trillion, okay? Now, when I do my projections, it looks to me like we will get somewhere between 5.5 and 11.5 trillion. 8 trillion would be about right in the middle. So 8 trillion is a number I have a high confidence score on. 8 trillion. What is that from 3? About 2.5. Okay, well, let's go back now. We need to go back to the last bull market because ApeCoin wasn't around in the last bull market. So we got to ask ourselves, okay, what coin was around in the last bull market that I could compare ApeCoin to? Well, what is ApeCoin? It's a meme coin. It's a gaming coin. It's a community coin. It also has utility. And it's part of a premium brand. So what can I compare it to? from the last market that would probably be the best comparison? Take some guesses. Take some guesses in the comments of what you're thinking. And then I'll tell you what I compare it to, what I landed on after thinking about it for quite a while. I see Gala, I see Mana. Wise Words says Shiba. I agree with Wise Words. Shiba Inu is what I would compare ApeCoin to. Meme coin, community coin, but it's also a gaming coin, and it has utility. So I see ApeCoin and Shiba Inu as and that community and that desire and that premium, like I see that as being a very good comparison. So under a $3 trillion market cap for all of crypto in the last market, what did Shiba Inu get to as a total market cap, as its market cap? It got to about 40 billion, right? 40 billion under a $3 trillion market cap. Okay, now I got a number. Well, let me pull this up real quick. Let me show you something. So I think 40 billion is pretty attainable for ApeCoin in the next bull market during that event I'm talking about. So right now, what's ApeCoin's market cap right now? Let's find ApeCoin. Here's ApeCoin. Let me refresh this to make sure we got current prices here. ApeCoin is down here. It's at about 420 million. 420 million. So I think ApeCoin could get to 40 billion, right? So 40 billion in the next cycle. Let's divide that by let's just call it 0.5, which would be 500 million, right? 0.5 billion would be 500 million. We're actually under that, but I'm going to be conservative. Equals 80. So what do I do with 80? I take it times this, times 1.14 equals 91. In reality, I think we get a little higher to maybe from where we're at. I think we actually get to about 100 million. I think the bottom end projection for ApeCoin to me is $100 a coin. About $100 a coin. So what is that from here? That's crazy. That's about an 80x plus from here. That's insane. That's my low end projection. So that means right now today, check this out. So at $1.14, so 1.14. If I wanted to buy 100 ApeCoin today, so times 100, that would cost me $114. But what if, let's clear that out, those 100 ApeCoin get up to my low end projection of about $100 times $100 equals what? Holy shit. That's my low end projection. And that's under Shiba Inu got to 40 billion under a $3 trillion market cap. That's why we projected the next market cap. We think it's going to be roughly 8 trillion. So take that times 2.5, right? Because 8 is roughly 2.5 from 3. That's our high end. So to me, when I look at ApeCoin, in terms of gauging the risk reward, I can spend $114 today and get myself 100 ApeCoin. So if ApeCoin happens to go to 0, that's my risk. That's the most I can lose here. But my upside is $10,000 to $25,000 from 114. Where are you going to find that kind of risk and reward? And I got a cherry on top for you too. Check out this cherry on top. What if you could be, while we get our ApeCoin and we wait for that event in the future when they sell the final pieces of land in the next bull cycle, what if in the meantime, while we're holding our ApeCoin, waiting for that, what if our ApeCoin could be turning into more ApeCoin passively without us spending more money? That'd be pretty great, right? In the Yield Wizard course, which is included in the Pro package, I show you how I earn roughly 50% on my ApeCoin, paid to me in ApeCoin. That means for every 100 ApeCoin I have over the next year, it's going to turn into roughly 150 Ape. And even more than that by the time we actually have that event probably, right? So that extra 50 ApeCoin that we're earning, if we get to the low end, to the high end, $100 to $300 a coin in the next cycle, that's an extra $5,000 to $15,000. Hell, if I'm completely wrong and Ape only gets down to 50, that's still $2,500, that extra 50 Ape. You see why all this put together, why Ape is one of my favorite altcoin plays? And over in the Yield Wizard course, which is included in the Pro package, you can learn how to do that. And you can also learn how to earn Atom while we wait for the bull market and be part of the house and earn ETH and then a couple more, right? So again, I usually get all this stuff. Normally it's $100. During the live stream, it's $49.99. When the live stream is over, I'm not kidding, I'm not messing around. I'm raising the price back up when the live stream is over. It's over on dailycryptobull.com, myname.com. And I'd really suggest you getting this Portfolio Secrets Guide. This is a very, very, not just useful, I would say having a portfolio strategy is vital to getting the most out of crypto, straight up. I spent about a month putting it together. It's an absolute fantastic guide. Go over the 8 buckets to buy in crypto, as well as how to assessing your risk and then delegating into each of those buckets based on your risk level. Talk about the different buckets, what the coins are, what they do, etc. over on dailycryptobull.com. Go check that out, or not. But the sale is over when the live stream is over, which I'm probably going to hop off the live stream in like 20 minutes. Let's see here. Slightly lower me, but same page. That's fair. Different macroeconomic though. Yes, but even though we will head into a recession in my estimation, that recession ends and the Fed prints a bunch of money, they lower interest rates, and off to the races we go again. New all-time highs in the stock market, new all-time highs in crypto, Bitcoin spot ETF getting approved, allowing shitloads of more money to come into crypto, stuff like that. So I'm not doing all this for today, I'm doing it for the future, right? And which I estimate my sell dates to be roughly maybe 2 years from now, something like that, probably kind of at the most. So I can wait that long. In the meantime, I'm just making all the plays I can. Not all the plays I can, finding the best plays I can. 50% of my portfolio, because I deem myself as a medium risk guy, ETH and Bitcoin. ETH and Bitcoin is 50% of my portfolio. And then the other 50% is in altcoins. And the reason I do that is because, say, worst case scenario, all those altcoins go to zero, which I see as basically a 0% chance. But nonetheless, plan for craziness. If that happens, ETH and Bitcoin are still going to be around, and if all they do is double, I keep my money. If they go up more than that, I'm still in the profit. So it's basically a secure floor, in my view, in my opinion, with a lot of upside. Let's go to some comments here. But my base case is certainly a recession. How much are you down this month? I'm not 100% what you're asking. As I watch coins go up and down, I don't really monitor that. I do trade regularly for price action going up and down, longing and shorting, etc. But I'm not really monitoring my portfolio if I'm like down. I'm more looking at my average buy price. My average accumulation price is what I look at in the bear market. Because everything I'm doing is for the bull market, right? I'm not selling this month. I'm not selling next month. I don't plan on selling for minimum a year, 1 to 2 years, which is when I think we will get to, because of the halving mechanics, Bitcoin halving mechanics, I expect us to be a lot higher at that point. Yeah, Bitcoin's down this month, but Andy, that doesn't matter to me. I've been profiting this month because of my trading. I've been doing shorts. Right now I'm in a chain link trade and I'm up almost 100% because the prices went down. Leaden Bell says, just got the educational package, time for some homework. Welcome in, Leaden Bell. And absolutely, don't wait to dive into that stuff. Be sure to use it as you go through it. You know, if you just learn a bunch of stuff and don't use it, it's not really very good to you. But make sure you do use it. But don't feel rushed to go through it either, because this is about building skills, building knowledge and awareness. Because if you know how to use DeFi and know how to trade, you've now leveled up. You know what I mean? And plus, I have executional steps for you to do there. I would say probably start with the Yield Wizard course and just get right into that 8 video and start learning how to do that, right? That would probably be my best suggestion. What's the best way to learn charts? To just learn them, to just get at them. And that's why I have over on dailycryptobull.com, I have the masterclass and the fundamentals course together in that trading portion of the pro package to teach how I read charts, how trading works and stuff like that. Again, they're all videos. It's all, I assume that you know nothing about trading or DeFi, right? So it's beginner friendly. And trading, you know, that's how you learn how to profit when price goes down, how you profit when price goes up without even buying anything. And then they're all videos to get instant access to them. They're yours to keep forever. And then the Yield Wizard portion of the pro package, that's all about DeFi. So trading is an active skill, right? And DeFi is more of a passive skill, right? Because you're more just putting things in the right places to let them work for you and for you to accumulate more. Thanks, Elvis. How low Bitcoin before halving? I have no idea. No clue. But what I do know is I think Bitcoin's at a great value for where I believe it's going to be, right? I believe Bitcoin's going to be at least 100K in the next cycle. So if I can get it at 25, that's phenomenal to me. If I get it at 25 and it goes down to 12 and then it goes to 100, buying at 25 is still really good, in my opinion. If it goes to 12, I'll buy that too. I buy all the time. Literally buy Bitcoin every day, at least a little bit, seriously, while it's in the bear market below certain prices. For me, I'll keep buying Bitcoin until it hits 40K. I'll keep buying ETH until it hits probably about 3,500. That's me. I understand this stuff. I have strong conviction. So I'm in. You need to do your research to arrive upon your own conclusions. And if you arrive the same place I do, which is strong conviction and belief in this stuff, then you should maybe consider buying. But if you don't understand this stuff, you shouldn't. AmpCoin or Alchemy Pay, I don't really follow either of them, really. Yeah. What was the link again? So the link for the pro package is over here on dailycryptobull.com. That's where the trading education is, which is the masterclass and the fundamentals course. Again, these are all videos. And again, like over here on our profit board in our private Discord, here's that link trade I'm in. Who cares what I'm doing? Jenks here, he profited when price went down. I mean, that's what I'm doing down here too. I'm in a link short. I got in at 643, down to 585, up 90%, paid to me in Tether. So I almost doubled my money because the price went down. It gives me an edge in the market, right? Gives me more of an advantage. Jenks here did the same thing. He just joined a little bit ago. He had no idea how to trade. He had no idea how to do this before he went through this material included in the pro package. And I could scroll for quite a while. You'll see lots and lots of people. I could scroll for a very long time. But they didn't know how to do any of it until they went through this. And then, so that's trading, active skill. And this is DeFi, more passive. Again, they're all videos showing you step by step, like the ApeCoin video, right? I have a video showing you click these buttons and you're done, and then you're passively earning ApeCoin to the tune of roughly 50% a year, right? So that means every 100 ape you get should be about 150 in a year's time, and it'll probably grow from there, right? Same thing with Atom. This one, ETH, very interesting because you get to be the house. You get to be the house. Put dollars in here, fund the house, become part of the house, earn your portion of the profits from their fees of people actually using their platform, and they pay it to you in Ethereum. There's only 5 DeFi protocols I actually use. I've used hundreds. I've been in DeFi since probably 2019, since the beginning of it. There's only 5 that I currently use, and I have videos showing you exactly what those 5 are and how to use them, because I deem them as having good risk reward, right? So that's why that's in there. But again, you get all that stuff. I normally charge $100, but today, 50% off, $49.99. When the live stream is over, price is going back up, and I'm not joking about that. And I'd really strongly suggest you get the Crypto Portfolio Secrets Guide. Very, very important to understand how to structure a portfolio, no matter what you're investing in, right? And because I get asked that question all the time, what would you do with 10K? Well, first of all, what's your risk tolerance? Are you low risk, medium, high, degen level? And then from there, what categories do we buy in? I break it down into roughly about 8 categories, 8 buckets. And depending on risk level, we allocate depending on that. And I talk about all the different levels or different categories and stuff like that, what my favorite coins in are. It took about a month to make that guide. So I really suggest maybe getting that too. Let's see here. How do you short the market, or is that a paid question? I mean, we do a short. You do a short. I mean, you can go click some buttons and place a short. The real nuance is, how do you know how to set yourself up for the highest probability situation to profit from that short? And that's why I put together the masterclass. I spent about 3 months making that. It's about a 2-hour class, going through all the nuts and bolts, fundamentals, how it works. And then the fundamentals class expands upon that, diving deeper. And if you ever join my Lever Atlas private group, you actually get my most advanced course, which is not where most people should start, with the most advanced course. But I used to sell that for about $1,000, but then I decided just to give it to my Lever Atlas members, which is my private group, which my private group gets my custom indicator. They get access to the private Discord, which I'm in all the time, answering people's questions, sharing my trades I'm doing, sharing my insights, stuff like that. And then, of course, they get that $1,000 course. Everyone should learn about derivatives. Spot is boring. I agree with you, Andy. I just think it's valuable to understand derivatives, which is what we're talking about here, is trading and shorting and longing, because it just gives you an advantage. It makes you more sophisticated. You're more advanced. And I think most people would agree that they'd rather be more advanced rather than less advanced when it comes to stuff like this, your crypto investing, etc. You made 50% on one account Saturday on Perp USD. Awesome, Andy. See that, and I estimate maybe 1% of people in crypto know how to trade and use DeFi, and the people that do are the most sophisticated in the market. And there's no reason anyone can't learn to do that stuff. They just need to get the right educational resources, right? Need to actually get in there and start doing it. Like, I wish I had this stuff. I've been around since 2017. Like, this stuff wasn't around. I had to learn all this on my own, man. So I made tons of mistakes. I have lots of arrows in my back. But I put together what I've learned, the good stuff, to say, here you go. Here's the good stuff. Here's how to avoid shitloads of mistakes and pain and loss. And here's the good stuff with trading in DeFi. Here you go. Here's what I've learned and come up with. Is it perfect? Do I know everything? No, nobody does. But hell, what an amazing spot to start from compared to where I started from and most people start from. You can learn it all for free on YouTube. Good luck. Good luck with that. See here. If you aren't trading, then the bear market is just a long, depressing waiting game. I agree with that, Leaden Bell. I do too. Like, even in the bull, I don't buy anything. In the bear, I only buy and I don't sell. In the bull, I only sell and I don't buy. So it's a lot of waiting. But I'm trading all the time in between. So it keeps me from making bad mistakes. This is the way I see it. I'm not trading trying to get super rich or putting tons of money on the line. I trade with like 3 to 5% of my portfolio is in my trading account to trade with, right? It keeps me active. I like the game and I'm able to grow my bags a bit there. But I'm not planning on making fuckloads of money from trading. I'm really not. Right, and that's not what I do. I just methodically accumulate over time. I don't even really monitor it that well, because once you start look, I had a really good day. I'm like, cool, I had a good day. Oh, I had a down day. Okay, that happens. It's just the sum of the whole game. And what's really important with trading is actually focusing on risk management and having a strategy so that when you lose, you can actually lose more often than you win. Do you hear me? What's important is to have a strategy that you can lose more often than you win and still be profitable. How do we do that? That's the stuff I talk about in the masterclass and the fundamentals course, right? The basic fundamentals of long and shorting is just clicking a few buttons, but the nuances, big deal. Now, I win more often than I lose, but nonetheless, even if I lost more often than I won, I'd still be profitable. Spot's soul destroying? It is, but I just get excited because I'm looking at these prices and I'm like, fuck yes. Because I don't think about these prices really. I think about what they're going to be. And I have estimates for everything that I buy. And so all I think is, shit, I just got to get to lower my average buy cost. That's what I think. Is that for you? Is this financial advice? Am I saying that's what you should do? No. But that's what I do, and that's the way I look at it. But I understand this stuff. I believe in this stuff. I have strong conviction. I monitor it constantly, All right. I'm giving a 10-minute final warning call. If you want to get the pro package at 50% off, which is all those videos, all that material, those courses around trading and DeFi, my best of my best. I normally sell it for $100. If you want to get it 50% off for $49.99, you can only do it during the live stream. When the live stream is over, I'm going to click a couple buttons and the price is going to go back to $100. I'm not joking. I'm not messing around with you like, oh, bait 'em. No, I'm serious. During the live stream, since you're here, you get a reward. You can get it for half price and start your journey and develop your skills and level up. But if you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just 10-minute warning. What was the link? The link is dailycryptobull.com. Get the Masterclass Fundamentals course, the Yield Wizard course, which is DeFi. Again, you get all that stuff, $891 value, easily. I normally charge $100. I mean, $100 for the ApeCoin video alone. The ApeCoin video alone is worth more than $100. And then you get all this other stuff, right? It's worth thousands, easy. But you can get it for 50% off during the live stream for $49.99. And I cannot recommend enough to consider getting this Portfolio Secrets Guide. When the stream's over, it goes back up to $100. Let's go to some comments and questions here. But yeah, 10-minute warning, because I got to go. I have a haircut and a beard trim. You guys probably noticed my beard go crazy in the past month or so, past few weeks. Biggest advice I can give you is to set stop losses religiously. I agree with you, Andy. See, that's one way that you can lose more often than you win, because you can control your downside, right? You make sure that you only take small losses, and you take them. You just let it happen. I talk about stuff like that in the Masterclass and Fundamentals course. Let's see here. What else can we talk about? Got anything you guys want to talk about? I may have missed this answer earlier, but when do you see the market turning upside? Depends what you mean. For me, I more have an estimated range of when we top out. And I think we top out in end of 24, first half of 25. That's what I'm looking at. But I will monitor the situation, right? I look at charts, I look at different indicators. If I feel the market tops out, is running out of steam, then I'll sell then. But I have my price targets, roughly, say about 100K for Bitcoin, which I do through my price analysis. And that's just a high probability number for me. Not based on a number out of my butt, but off of actually doing real price history, data, and analyzation. ETH to me seems to be somewhere between 85 and 13.5 in the next cycle, with an upside of maybe 16.8. And I'll be selling at those prices. But again, I'll be monitoring everything. If it looks like we're running out of steam before then, I'll sell. And follow me. I'll be sharing everything I do with you. Your screen just froze. I think end of 24, first half of 25. I think certainly by the end of 2025, we should see the top of the bull market. What's it look like between now and then? No clue. And I don't really care about that. In reality, I hope we just go lower and lower until we officially kick off a real bull run. So I can just keep getting in cheaper and cheaper. That's what I do. It's not necessarily what you should do, but that's what I do because of the way that I see things and what I believe in. Have you heard anything about Hong Kong being on the verge of tokenizing real estate? Yes, I actually just read that today. That's really interesting. I think that something I've been talking about for a very long time. That's a big thing with tokenization, but also something with NFTs, is that you can have ownership in like real estate developments that are in a much more liquid market, right? And collect your dividends, which would be your equity ownership paid from the actual revenue the properties collect. I think it's in Hong Kong, China, they're having a big real estate issue. I don't know how many takers they would have on that right now, but it's fascinating to see that stuff starting to pick up some steam, if only for now. Every new coin on futures comes on Bybit drops, not all, but most. And I haven't used Bybit in a while. We used to use Bybit, but ever since they implemented mandatory KYC, we stopped using it. So I did a lot of research around, reached out to a lot of different platforms, and MEXC is the one that I liked the most. So that's the one that I use and Lever Atlas members use, and that the top one I recommend. But I mean, you can use it ever you want, obviously. But I have noticed still, I do check certain charts, they have different ones depending on which exchange you're looking at. I do see some Bybit ones, and I've thought for a long time that Bybit's prices, not that they're way off or anything, but they do seem to sometimes be a little off, where I'm like, why are you off? Coinbase to me is the most reliable one to check, but I usually just check the index. But since I trade on MEXC, I look at a lot of MEXC reported charts, price actions. In 24 though, yeah, but that's my base case is I think by the end of 2024, we are at least flirting with somewhere around 50K. But I just encourage, like, if you really invest in crypto, I think it's a market that will just try to shake you off the pole constantly. It is just a bucking bronco. So you need to have your convictions. And like this is last half of 23. Like let's get real about profit time horizons. Like having to wait a year or two. Wow, is that extremely acceptable? A dream, actually. So I think that one of the biggest things that I see, and I understand because I used to do it too, is the impatience. Right, Led, and I'm just saying that because I'm kind of noticing in what you're saying that I think you're having a bit of impatience in my view. I'm just saying that to help you. I'm not judging you or anything. I'm just saying that to just relax. Everybody, I think if you're going to be in this market, you need to find this zen within you because it's a very volatile market and it will swing you all around if you let it. But I think I could see Bitcoin being lower by the end of this year. I could see it, not beyond the realm of possibility that it makes new bear market lows. To which I get extremely excited. I get extremely excited because the thing that I'm most certain of is that Bitcoin's going to get to 100K and beyond. 100K within the next 2-3 years at most. So I'm like, go lower, baby. Go lower. That's me. I can't wait but be impatient. It's just something you got to learn, right? Got in end of 21, so sitting and waiting for 2 years. That's why, because I'm telling you, Ledden, that happened to me too, right? You get into crypto. Most people get in at some point, usually near the top. That sounds like you got in near the top. That you're probably that new to crypto, which makes sense. And I'm telling you from experience, like it'll get back there. You just got to be relaxed with it because by not being relaxed, by being impatient, it's going to lead you to make bad decisions. Because there won't be logic; it'll just be emotion, and actually it'll be fear. And fear always leads you to bad decisions. Nobody knows, do they honestly learn derivatives and leverage? And it all happens today, not in years. Yeah. That's the thing is with trading, I can just sit here and I can trade up, I can trade down, and I can stay active and just profit day in, day out. Not that I'm a day trader. I'm not necessarily in a trade every day. I wait for nice setups. I'm not trying to get rich from trading. I'm looking to grow my bags because through trading, longs and shorts, I can actually accumulate actual crypto as my profit, or I can accumulate stablecoin, which is still crypto. But actual, I can trade Bitcoin and earn Bitcoin when the price goes down, stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to hop off here because I gotta get my hair cut and stuff. If you want to learn more about crypto trading and DeFi, which maybe 1% of people know how to do both of those things, so you would give yourself a very large edge and advantage and just level up your skills and overall sophistication as a crypto investor, right? Not that they're without their risks. What isn't? But if you want to get involved in that stuff, over here on dailycryptobull.com, I have this masterclass and fundamentals course showing you how to profit when price goes down. This is all beginner friendly. I assume you know nothing about any of this. Instant access, yours to keep forever videos, right? About trading. If we go over here to the private Discord, you can see there's Jenks. He just joined about a month ago. He got into this XLM trade at 13.2. It went down to 13.1. It went down, yet he profited. Paid to him in Tether. Right here, let's find a J Coffee. He profited because perp went down. I got my profits too, but who cares? Where's a long? Let's find one. Here's one, J Coffee. He got into this TRB. He got in at 26.45 or 23.64. Went up to 24.45. It went up, and he profited 66%, but he didn't buy anything. You know what I mean? Paid to him in Tether. I could scroll for a very long time on this profit board. I can tell you most of those people didn't know how to do it until they took this stuff. So this is an active skill of trading. And down here, the Yield Wizard course, this is DeFi. Videos showing you how to passively earn crypto every day, right? Do like the ape video, right? You watch it, you click the buttons, you do the thing one time, and you're done, and then you're passively earning ApeCoin to the tune of roughly 50% a year. And these are my 5 favorite protocols that I actually use, the only 5 I actually use. And I've used hundreds of DeFi protocols. I also show you how to qualify for some upcoming airdrops. All this over on dailycryptobull.com. This is all available in the Pro package, which I normally sell for $100, total value of $900 during the live stream. 50% off, $49.99, and I'm going to be ending the live stream in like 1 minute over on dailycryptobull.com. And I really suggest getting this Portfolio Secrets Guide too. But all right, y'all. Here's what I'll do, right? Because I think I kind of dropped that on you. I'm going to end the live stream, and I'm going to give you 10 minutes. When I'm done with the live stream, I'll give 10 more minutes. So 1:15. At 1:25, I'm going to click some buttons and change the price. It's going to go back up to $100. Okay. So I'm going to end the stream. I'll show you the link one more time. Take a screenshot if you need to. This is Latin. This is education. So I'm trying to teach you how to trade. Instead of handing you fish, I'm trying to teach you how to fish. If you want to get in my private Discord, you can become a Lever Atlas member too, where I do show some trades that I do. I do give some kind of signals. I answer people's questions. And it's just a fantastic community because a private Discord is 10,000 leagues above a public Discord if you've never been in one. You also get access to my buy-sell signals with the Lever Atlas membership, or my indicator, I should say, which is something like this. You see these buy-sell labels and the momentum waves. This is all my own indicator, but you got to be a Lever Atlas member. Click the link in my TikTok bio, and that you can join over here. That's how you also get access to the private Discord. But I think for most people, this is where you go, dailycryptobull.com. Get the Pro package. And if you go through this stuff, if you actually go through it, I'll actually give you a discounted opportunity to join Lever Atlas too. But there's the link again. Take a screenshot or just go over to it. Other than that, I'm heading out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hit the follow button and notification bell. I'm going to end the stream, and in about 10 minutes, I'm going to raise the price back up on the Pro package. Have a good one. Take care.